What's up, guys? Back for another video. Today I want to talk about your visions, your goals, your dreams, or your mindsets. It's important that you mastermind not only with a group of people like I've said before on this channel, but it's also important that you're constantly masterminding with the one and only self every single day. Masterminding with yourself, bouncing back and forth ideas in your head on what you could be doing structure and system wise for whatever plans you have for your life right now, you know, and what you could do to improve yourself. So basically finding little niches of time, little slots of time that you can fit in extra practice, extra repetitions to enhance your reputation, because your repetitions are your reputation, and the more often you do something, the more permanent it becomes. So make sure, of course, your practice is perfect as possible, because practice doesn't necessarily make perfect, but practice makes permanent. So, you know, it's also important that you find the little slots of time that nobody else in your niche, in your field of expertise, whatever you're doing, you gotta find little slots of time that other people in your area of expertise aren't using to take advantage of and basically outwork them. You know, like Les Brown, for example, one of the best motivational speakers around right now. When he used to do door-to-door sales, he would stay out until he got at least one sale every single day. He would knock on the doors even if it was nighttime, just to prove a point, just to outwork every single person that he was working with, just to show himself, not them, but to show himself that he gave more of a shit than they did. That he was willing to put in more hours, more effort to get more rejections. You know, let's say you're a salesman, for example. You're a door-to-door salesman like Les Brown. Hell, if you knock on 1,000 doors, you might get 900 no's, right? But if you knock on 2,000 doors, you're gonna get twice as many no's. You might not like the fact that you're getting twice as many no's, but by getting those twice as many no's, you're actually going to get twice as many yeses as well, because you're going through the numbers. If you go through more numbers, if you're knocking 250 doors a day while everyone else in your office is knocking 150 a day, then you're getting 100 extra on them every single day. You do that every single day, non-stop, especially if you do Saturdays and Sundays when other people take that off. That's what, 250 plus 250 for Saturday and Sunday is 500. Plus another 500 for $100 for 100 extra doors every day of the week. That's 1,000 extra doors that you're knocking more than anybody else in the office. A week. That's 4,000 extra a month. So think of it like that, where you're putting in the extra grind. Let's say you're a singer, you're a musician. Find time to sing while you're driving your car, while you're in your shower, while you're making food, while you're doing this, while you're doing that. You kind of get my point here. Find the little tiny slots to fit it in, the extra grind that most people aren't going to fit it in. Most people would be listening to music, or complaining, or talking shit about their neighbor Susie, or doing some irrelevant bullshit that's not going to get them anywhere that they want in life. It's just going to get them to more places that they can complain more about. And I know that you and me both are very tired of complaining about how sick we are of our lives. So why don't we change it, you know? Put the extra hours, instead of complaining and talking bullshit about your neighbor Susie, why don't you go put in the hours into something more creative, you know, even if you don't feel like it. That's actually the best time to do it, is when you don't feel like it. When you're fitting in extra stuff and all these little time segments, you're definitely not going to feel like it at first, because you're going to feel like taking a break. You're going to feel like, oh man, I deserve a break. I worked 8-9 hours a day. I want to go home and sit on the couch and relax. But you don't deserve a break, and you and I both know that, because you didn't really work that hard. If you think about it, I mean, I bet you all of us who are watching this, most of us anyway, are employed by another person. If you're going out and you're working for another person, you're not really working that hard. Imagine the people that work for themselves. I mean, don't cut yourself any slack there. You're an employee, you're in the E. Just like me, okay? Like, we gotta work twice as hard, if not 3 times as harder, if we want to get to where we want to get. If you want to break out of the rat race, how bad do you want it? If Because if you don't want it bad enough, then you can stay stuck here, and then me and my homies are gonna break free from the system. Because it takes a lot of grind, it takes a lot of effort. A lot of people want the same thing, but not a lot of people are willing to put in the effort and the work to go get those things. They're not willing to sit there and think creatively and get in their own head and just visualize it and continually manifest that reality. You gotta continually say it into your reality. You gotta continually think it into your reality. You gotta continually put that extra push to do more work than anybody else is, because a lot of people, whatever your dream is, whatever it is, I guarantee you, there's more than one that has that same exact vision. Literally the same exact vision. Us humans, we think alike. So, you know, pretty much every idea that you have on a day-to-day basis has already been thought of, if you think of it. So, it's not really that creative, if you think about it. You know, I don't mean to get all pessimistic and squash your hopes and dreams and tell you that 1,000 million other people have the same hopes and dreams as you, but, you know, it's kind of true, they do. So, that means you gotta outwork them if you want to be the one that gets it done. Have you ever had a great idea and then 5 years down the line you see it on TV or something, you're like, shit, that was my idea. Well, guess what? They had the same idea you had. The only difference between you and them is that they executed differently. Lots of people had the Facebook idea before Facebook was created. Mark Zuckerberg decided to execute correctly. A lot of people want to have successful restaurants, but not everybody does. A lot of people want to be social media famous. Not everyone is. Who's going to care a little bit more than the other person? And that's really who ends up making it. And I'll tell you this much, I'll end it on an optimistic point of view. Because I know there's going to be those people that are watching that go, okay, well, if there's a lot of
sorry.
You're going to go, well, shit, Gabe. If everyone has the same aspirations as me, and if there's so much competition, and if it's so hard, then why should I even try? Like, it's so hard. Like, I'm probably not going to do it anyway, even if I do try. Blah, 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 blah. Okay? You can sit there, you can have that mindset, and you can pretty much solidify that you're going to have a normal life, and that it's going to be hard. Or you could open your eyes and realize that even though there's a lot of competition, there's also a lot of slots open for people to win the race. Here's the analogy I'll give you. Ty Lopez gave me this analogy at 18 that helped me understand it. Basically, there's enough slots for everyone to win. For everyone who tries to win. Because more than half the population, more than half the people who are in the race aren't even running anymore. They got tired. They were running at first when they were younger, and then they got tired, they got a slow jog, and then they started walking, and then they sat down and started sipping the sippy cup and watching everybody else run, okay? If you're watching this video, I really doubt that's you. You're still running, or at least jogging or walking, or maybe you're crawling, man. Maybe you are. And that's okay, because you're still moving forward. There's plenty of slots available open for people to win that race. All these people gotta do is keep moving forward. That's what they don't understand. Some people finish the race faster because they're sprinting and they're good at it. Some people fall on their face a few times. Okay, I've fallen on my face a few times. In fact, most of the winners have fallen on their face a lot of times before they get to the winner position. You know, before they finish the race. So you gotta look at it with an optimistic point of view that basically if you just keep moving forward, if you just keep pushing through it, if you just keep running forward during that race and you keep your eye on the prize, your eyes on the finish line, that you will eventually be a winner, just like all these people. And once you cross the finish line, then you can cheer the other people on who are still running, and you can give them motivation, and you can help them cross the finish line, and it'll feel even better than when you cross the finish line. So you got to keep you winning, running across that finish line in your mind's eye all the time. Constantly reminding yourself. If you constantly remind yourself of this vision, you're manifesting this shit, you're talking about abundance and all this, then you're going to want to find those small times, those small slots of time to fit in, to put in the extra grind that nobody else is doing, which is completely necessary. It's a requirement if you want to finish a winner. You got to keep it at the top of your mind, so it's at the tip of the tongue, so that it's at the tip of your fingertips. eventually. It's in the palm of your hands. You can see it, and then you can eat it, digest it, and then poop it out. Wow, that got weird. Okay. I'm gonna end the video on the weird note, and if you got some value from it, make sure you drop me a comment down below. I always comment back to every single person. If you're not subscribed, make sure to subscribe and like the video, bro!